Hey guys, Julian here. Talking about a SOS Concepts Streamline bumper going on a 2010 plus Toyota 4Runner. We have the Streamline right there. What we're going to be doing first is going to be working on removing this plastic shielding right here. We have a couple of pins throughout. These should be easy to take off. These are just a push down style. Push that in and pop these out. These are fairly easy. Now that we have that shield removed, we're gonna have a couple more clips to take off. One right here, down in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've already started the pre-removal process just to make this go by a little bit quicker. After removing these clips, we are now going to work down to the side of the bumper to where right here we have, once again I've removed these previously just to make this go by quicker. We have this one, this one, this one. There's going to be a couple of more down here that I've already removed. This one I'll taking that off. Now further down here we have a couple more. We have this one right here, this one right here that you need to remove, along with those on this side. Now there is this other shield in place that we would have to remove. I'll go ahead and do that and then get to the next step. So once all those bolts are removed from the lower bumper, now what we are going to start working on is actually removing the bumper. And I did this earlier just to see how easy it is. This you will have to pull off, and of course since it was just hanging there, I was able to take that off without issues. You will have to tug a little bit hard to get this to come off of the little tabs. Now that we have that separated, we go ahead and just take off the bumper. Alright guys, once the bumper is all removed, we got this crash bar that we have to start removing. So we have these 3 bolts on this side, 1 on the inside, same goes for the other side. 1 on the inside, 3 more to remove here. So we'll get that taken off, and we'll do a test fit with this one, see how that goes on, and then we'll start trimming away at that little monster. Hopefully our cuts come out good. There's no instructions on how to properly do the trimming, especially along this part coming up this way, but I think it shouldn't be bad. Here in the background we have the 2014 Tacoma with Eddie's front bumper. Love that thing. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we've test fitted the SOS bumper right there, Streamline. It's a little tricky, but we've managed to get that taken care of. Now these little plastic pieces look like little shrouds. They go, where am I at? They go in here, up in that area. They were there. I had to take them off in order to fit the bumper, put them in its place. Before I put the Streamline back on, I'm gonna have to double check to see if I'm gonna need those back on or not. I've taken off there's a crash bar, as you can see, and I have my little helper taking off the license plate brackets. I can get a better measurements and easier to cut that. So we'll see how this is going to turn out. Should be fun. Alright guys, so cutting this front valance part, what I went ahead and did just to make sure I don't overcut, drew a few lines. That one right there I'm cutting first, just so that if I need to cut more, I have space to cut. On the inside I went ahead and drew some lines to follow the inside on both sides, so I'll be cutting those first. Wish me luck. Alright guys, here's my first cut. Looks like there's too much left over, but once again, that was done intentionally just to make sure I don't cut way too much. So I'll test fit it and see if I'm gonna have to cut more or not. So I'll be right back. Alright, so this is where I'm at so far. I have the bumper back on, getting ready to put that guy on. This is going to be tricky because I'm down to one person. So wish me luck here. Alright guys, so I'm about done putting this bumper on. I got a little ahead of myself. I'm going to do that by myself. It's kind of tricky. I don't recommend it at all. So as you can see, the bumper is still not fully back on, but getting this, that initial cut that I showed you was significant. It was more than enough, as you can see right about there. This bumper sits above the plastic, so you don't have to cut too much off. With this bumper having to be cut off at this edge, it's not stable enough, so when you're flying down the road, it's not going to be flapping. Eddie provided these brackets, so it'll just attach to that lower point there and this corner of the Streamline. I need to go ahead and finish tightening those bolts in there. The one that's inside of the bumper, where the winch will go eventually, needs to be tightened. Here's the other side, the driver's side, and I said here's that. This little bracket, small and simple. It'll attach right there and keep this from bouncing around. See, where am I at? There's a couple of bolts that need to be tightened as well. So I'll be getting that. And once I finalize everything, I'll show you the finished product.